Take a look at this image. Do you see anything? If so, what? Do you see a cup of coffee? How about this one? A boat, right? Now, most importantly, take a good look at this one. What do you see here? Believe it or not, your answer might just indicate whether or not you really believe in God. So what do you think? What image do you see hidden in this picture of static? If you can't see anything, don't worry about it, because actually, there's nothing hidden here. But if you did see something, it might have a lot to do with how you feel about God and your place in the world. Dr. Jennifer Whitson of UCLA has set up a game based on her research exploring just this question. She's invited a few volunteers to the Life on Mars Art Gallery in Brooklyn to test what they see in the static. We have two groups. Each group will perform two tasks, a puzzle game and a static test around the gallery. How the groups perform and respond to the static will help explain how our brain sees order in the world.
The first game will involve you grabbing a whole bunch of these pieces.
Okay.
And making first this image on the wall, and then the second and the third image as fast as you can.
Okay.
You can start when you're ready.
Oh boy, all right. Light purple.
Finished.
Great, good job on all three. And let's move on to the next game. What we'll have you do now is look at a series of static images. And for each one, I'm going to ask you if you see something in it, and if so, what? So let's jump right in.
I think I see a horse.
I don't see anything in that one.
And for image 5?
Nothing.
And this one?
That is a sailboat.
How did you feel about both the games?
It was kind of fun to do, kind of fun to figure it out. It wasn't too difficult.
So for the static images task, some of the images actually had pictures inside of them, while others were pure static.
Okay.
And you actually got all of them exactly right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Group 1 did extremely well, accurately describing most of the hidden images, and not seeing images where there were none.
I'm Jennifer.
But with Group 2, we're throwing a curveball. Now they'll have to do the first puzzle with an almost impossible time limit, and we'll see what effect this has.
You'll have 1 minute to do this.
Okay.
If you don't manage it in time, I'll just say that you have to move on immediately to the next picture. Does that make sense?
I understand.
All right, great. Ready, and go.
No, no.
Okay, I'm going.
Are they really the right sizes? Oh my goodness.
10 seconds,
No. Ah,
and time. All right, so you didn't get any of the 3 in under the time limit.
I did not.
But let's move on to the next game.
Okay.
I see a jockey on a horse.
And this one.
I see clouds.
That looks like a bowl. I see a little something in there. A lion or a tiger?
So what effect did the time pressure have on the second group? Overall, the second group saw many more images in the static where there were actually no images. But why?
Maybe I thought I saw something. I was trying to convince myself that I saw something.
That makes sense. And you're actually not alone. So a lot of people who are in exactly the same situation do exactly what you just did. How did it feel as you completed this task?
Just a lot of geometrics to figure out, and I was under pressure because of the time.
I just feel frustrated that I just didn't have enough time then to do it.
When I started panicking, and then it all turned into a big hot mess.
The first group felt they had a lot of control as they completed the first game. When they got to the static images, they were pretty accurate. However, the second group, the group that lacked control, were significantly more likely to say that they saw something that wasn't there. My research shows that when we lack control, we will seek and see patterns in the world around us. when people are asked specifically about the tendency of God to intervene in human events, that's when you find that as they lack more control, they're more likely to feel that this might be the case.
So if you saw images in some of this art where there were none, your brain might just be trying to create an order, divine or not, in the world that is not always there. In fact, there's another game we can use to further test your believing brain. Take a look at these images. What do you see? Do you get the feeling that someone is looking back at you? What you're experiencing is a phenomenon called pareidolia, meaning your brain sees patterns like faces where none are actually present. The ability to recognize faces is so important in humans that your brain has an area devoted to it called the fusiform gyrus. Scientists have found that this phenomenon is actually more common in people who believe in the supernatural. Maybe this helps explain why people sometimes see religiously themed faces in everyday objects.